time, that's a ratio. Tiny tuna, welcome to the show. Yeah, gotta let them know. G-O-A-T-Y,
Canada's heavyweight kingdom can only endure a single king. For the current king of the heavyweights in BFL, Caio Machado's rule has been absolute.
I've been dominating Canada for many years. I've been taking every fight for the last 6 fight win streak, four first round finishes. There's nowhere else to go but the UFC, especially right now that they come to our backyard. I need a spot on that card. UFC, here I go.
Welcome, GOAT fans, to another episode of GOAT Radio. I'm the big man, and I gotta say, I feel kind of off calling myself the big man because joining me is an absolute beast. They call him the King of the North for a reason. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so pumped to welcome 5-time BFL heavyweight champ, Caio Bigfoot Machado.
Hey, how are we doing? Thanks for having me on the show. It's a pleasure. We've been talking about getting here in the last couple of weeks and finally made it.
Thank you, brother. And it's perfect timing because we got UFC in about a month and a half and the GOAT fans are excited. So we'll get into that in a bit, okay? First things first. The GOAT fans know the drill. I got to say what I'm wearing. For you, Bigfoot, I am wearing the number 10 yellow jersey, Brazilian national soccer team, Kaká. He is
great pick.
Hey, he is one of the legends of Brazilian soccer.
100%. Like, grew up watching him since like '02 and a little bit earlier when he came up in Brazil. Great player. I'm a very big soccer fan. I was very big on Kaká when he came up and on his days of Milan. So great pick for a jersey.
Awesome. Yeah. So speaking of Brazil, Caio, MMA is massive in Brazil. How did you start your transition in the fight game in Brazil?
So MMA, as I say, MMA is big in Brazil. Martial arts in general, BJJ, MMA. It's considered right now the second sport in Brazil, right after soccer.
Yeah.
I first got into the MMA war in martial arts when I was around 10 years old, and I was just like a big kid with a lot of energy and very playful, but like just playing with my friends, I ended up like hurting them and not being able to understand how my actually like using my body and how to not hurt other people. So my mom decided to put me on BJJ so to like be a little bit more, spend some more energy and understand how my body works a little bit more, develop, and that was a big part of me growing up. I always been to sports. I did that BJJ from 11 years old until I was 14. That's when I started playing a little bit high school basketball, and but right after that, and came to Canada for a year for my exchange program.
Yeah.
Sorry, my wife just got in something happened in the back.
All good. It's all family. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the living room now. It just moved, so it's kind of I haven't found a spot to shoot that yet. But coming back, I came to Canada for exchange program a year, and when I got back, I decided to come back to train BJJ. I missed that a little bit. I think that was the kind of training that fit my college schedule, and with BJJ, started doing Muay Thai, started competing on both, and with time, started figuring out that I was getting the wins, I was getting better, and one day I always had that dream to like get one fight in and getting that experience to be in the cage. Luckily, when I came to Canada for school again, and I got the shot to debut at BFL and fell in love for the sport and dedicated my life to it since.
Absolutely. And I have to bring up some of the absolute greats come from Brazil. Some of my favorites, Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo, the Nogueras. Is there any fighters that kind of you got inspired from?
Yeah, of course. Both the Nogueira's brothers. Shogun was a big one in Brazil for me growing up. Anderson Silva, Aldo, Victor Belfort. Like I started training. I started when like on the peak UFC for Brazilians when we had like Anderson Silva on that amazing run. On when Rosaldo was doing like was beating everyone. One Anderson was fighting Vitor Belfort. Would have Dos Santos the heavyweight champ. Like I, that's when I started getting more interested into the sport. Actually, the, the fight that caught my eyes for the first time in MMA was Anderson Tony won when I was with my family in the bar. I wasn't even to watch the UFC and was playing the back and I just saw like Anderson getting that beating and like resisting for trying to survive for 4.5 rounds until he pulled the triangle choke, and I said, "Damn, that's beautiful." And I was doing jiu-jitsu by then, and the idea of doing that just grew up on me, and that's where I started shifting that way.
Yeah. Well, you look like a you look like a freakish athlete. You look like you could play NFL right now.
I always question myself about that. Could unfortunately, like growing up in Brazil, we do not do much. What do you got? American football, but I definitely have the body type. I feel like I'm a very athletic guy, and especially being 6'4", 265 pounds. I could play anywhere. I just like to fight, and that's what I end up.
So you're from hopefully I get this right. Presidente Prudente,
Yeah.
outside of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Um, was it in your teenage years? Was it kind of tough? Was life kind of struggle at points?
Not really. Like I'm very lucky. Have a very like stable. I had a very stable life growing up with my family. Family support. Always playing sports. Or had the opportunity to get to good schools. To learn English. What's not a
Mm-hmm.
very normal thing to do in Brazil, and that is showing up now that was a great thing to do.
Yeah.
I got the opportunity to travel around and live in Germany for a couple months. I did an exchange program here in Canada during high school, so I got great life experience. My teen years growing up, I had so many opportunities. I can't complain at all, but I think since I was a kid, I always been drawn to sports. I always been fascinated about like being a professional athlete, breaking the limit, and like when I found then enjoying MMA was right away, and knew I had to develop my put my soul on it.
Yeah. So I want to get into Vancouver. The UFC is coming in our backyards, man. And I'm sure it gets annoying.
Yeah,
Everyone's asking you because, man, you are the number one ranked Canadian heavyweight. Like
yeah.
you are running through guys. They don't know who to put you with. Now, can you share any news what your plans are? I know there's also a BFL in June as well. Any plans this summer?
So in an ideal scenario, I would be fighting here in Vancouver. I don't think that would be a better situation to debut on the UFC. But Vancouver, I've been doing all my fights here. I've been dominating the Canadian scene. I'm the biggest, baddest man in Canada right now. Even the other heavyweights outside the promotion, just like I think right now I'm in point. I can be fighting with the top heavyweights in the world. So I consider myself the top one in Canada. But there's a lot of politics going on. It's a pay-per-view card. I don't know if my name's going to be up there. So let's see. Contender Series up there. I hope I was supposed to get my shot last year. Had some visa shoot, so that would be a that would be probably where I would end up. I don't know much about it, but BFL is another thing too. Like I always had the chance to fight. I always loved to fight at BFL. I made them at home. I proposed to my wife on that cage. So let's see. I'm waiting a couple more information, but I can tell you whatever comes in the summer, I will be fighting the summer, and whatever comes, I'm coming to knock someone out.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. We're gonna Goat Radio. All the boys here are gonna be pumped for your next fight. So you are.
Awesome.
I want to talk about some of your skills. You are an extremely well-rounded fighter. You are the undisputed BFL champ. Okay, uh, you're on a 6-fight win streak.
Yes.
6 fights. If it was up to you, Kyle, how would you like the fight to go? Would you like to have it standing, or do you like to take it to the ground to use your skills, or does it even matter?
Like honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm very comfortable to fight whenever, whatever. If the fight goes to the ground, I'm very comfortable there, off my back, on top, getting submissions, ground and pound. But I always like to stand up a little bit more. I feel that in the end of the day, we're trying to put on a show, and the crowd likes to see the striking. They like to see big guys knock each other out, and I'm very good at that. So if I get to choose, I'm gonna go to the striking, but I have a lot of ability and I have a lot of confidence in my ground game. And if the fight presents itself around there, I will finish in the ground for sure.
Absolutely. I also want to get into the mental side of the things. I always say MMA fighters and especially champions, their mindset, their mental focus is like the best of athletes. How do you keep your mind in check? How do you keep it
So,
strong, focused?
uh, first of all, I love the game. I love to study. I love to watch tape. I love to get into it and improve what as I can. But as a mindset, first of all, I'm there to have fun.
Yeah,
I yeah, I just like love to do it. I'm having fun. Smiling. I'm laughing around. That's being a big, always be the bigger guy in the room makes me always have to hold myself down a little bit. Like in life, I'm always containing myself. I'm big, loud, I'm strong, and I'm always trying to make myself smaller. I'm trying to make myself quiet. I'm trying to blend in a little bit. In that cage, that's where I can get myself free. I can release it, can show full power. I can be as loud, as busy, as the big guy I actually am. And like I have ADHD, and I feel that helps me with the superpower where when I get that adrenaline going on that cage, instead of on the everyday things where I not concentrate on anything, I can feel like full on all aspects of the fight, and that's just makes me tune in with what's going on right there and ready to kill.
awesome, man. And how do you prepare for a heavyweight fight? Because blink of the eye, they're usually done. Not all the time. They go the distance sometimes, but they're usually done. Like for example, your last 4 fights, done in the first round, you destroyed the opponents. How do you prepare? Do you watch a lot of video? Do you study the fighters? Do you try to visualize how the fight's going to go? Because it's usually quick.
Yes, 100%. First of all, I'm preparing. I'm always preparing to the distance. I have the cardio to go 5, 10 rounds if I have to. I'm considering myself one of the best cardios in the game on my division, and that also helps in my game. But overall, I'm always visualizing. I'm always watching. I study so much tape. I kind of like every time I'm shadow boxing, every time I'm walking, I'm seeing my opponent's movements. I'm studying how I'm countering, and I'm planning everything. I see every scenario. I If I go to the ground and he put me a side body. What do I do? Where do I go? I plan every scenario in my head before the fight starts. So when I get there, I see and done everything.
Very, very, very awesome. I know I was going to say, you're a big man and it is tough to have the conditioning. That's one of your strengths, and you cause a lot of problems. If it does go the distance, you're heavily favored. How do you,
100%.
what do you do? Do you run a lot, or is it just your will?
Uh, I run not as much as I want to, just for now I put some extra weight, and the running itself bothers my knees and feet. So I've been switching the running process with a lot of biking, a lot of swimming, a little bit of running, but like I always try to make everything the 5 minutes intensity that I need for the round. So I I try to do every workout that I'm doing for cardio will be set up to 5 minutes intense,
Mm-hmm.
and then I break. I take a little bit of break a minute, 5 intense minutes, then a break of a minute, and going slow. So the, I'm preparing myself not just for a marathon. I'm preparing myself. No, I'm not running in the same way. I'm not swimming the same way as a swimmer. I'm I'm doing everything. Everything is run as a fight. So I have 5 minutes, one break, 5 minutes, one break, and everything is the pace I want to do. So I can control the fight and go faster, harder, uh, rest a little bit as the fight goes. Uh, but yeah, a lot of work at the gym, and that's how I get the cardio.
For sure. And you're obviously a really feared man in the ring, but off out of the ring and the cage, you seem like a really nice guy, really respectful guy. But do you like to engage in a little trash talk for your opponent? Do you like to have that mental warfare, trying to get him off edge a little bit? Do you like to do that before fights?
So if you watch me a little bit, I'm always approaching the fight week and approaching my opponent with a smile on my face, uh, and that energy that I'm relaxed because I am, and I feel if I'm across someone that's there to that would be getting locked in the cage with me to exchange punches, and that guy is calm and relaxed and smiling. That guy's danger. Making a mean face, saying shit, that's easy.
Yeah.
But being calm, being relaxed, being feeling the energy, feel at home on that kind of environment, that's the hardest part. So that's where I get into people's face, people's mind. And when they play me with all the big shots they can, and I look up and smile and shake my head and say, "Let's go." I can see sometimes in the fight when they will goes out, like when they hit me with everything they can, and they see, oh, there's no way to knock this guy out, and they will goes away right away.
Yeah, we have a clip of you across the ring from someone doing your smile. It looks fucking scary. It's awesome. Um, Kyle, can you tell us about the gym you train out, you coach at, and FKP Franco Kickboxing and Pancration?
100%. I've been training with Franco and all the team at FKP for since I came to Canada, so it will be around 8 years right now. By by this by the fall, and I've been pretty much working all this time with Coach Chris Franco, one of the pioneers in the MMA in Canada. He's one of the guys who started the first MMA gym around here. He's like definitely one of the coaches I see around, and I hear a lot of like ringside instructions, and there's few guys that understand more and can give the proper instructions, like a technical and proper instructions during the fight. It's not a guy like go harder, keep going, push. It's a guy that left hand body, go to the head, move around. So he's a very technical coach. He's a guy that's been in the sport for a while, understand a lot. It's he and he's family to me. Also with my main training partner, Jaden Martin. They both own the gym, and like those guys was the other parts of the gym. Their family. We have a great relationship, but like the knowledge and the skills we have in that room is different.
Yeah, you definitely got a team full of legends. It's an amazing team you got. Do you guys ever have rivalries with other gyms? I always wondered that.
They like it's hard. I don't have a rivalry with anyone. I'm the guy to fight. A fight's a fight. After that, we want to go for a beer.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
up to. But the guys always have a little bit of beef with someone else. It's not my place to share that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
on my part, I'm here for the sport.
Nice, brother. How do we get our hands on the Bigfoot t-shirt? I'm going to get one definitely before your fight to rock that. Can you let the GOAT fans where we can find the link to get some shirts?
100%. I have some shirts on sale on my page at baddest.com. I have shirts, white, black and white shirts. I have hoodies. I will be. I am working on the next fight, and once this next fight is announced, I probably will have another line coming up soon. So baddest.co, you go on my Instagram page. Will be on my link over there. Go
Okay.
straight there. Can get my stuff, and yeah, let's go from there.
Awesome, brother. We're going to finish off the pod with some GOAT rapid fire with Bigfoot. So you're going to give us your choice. You're going to expand if you want to, or you're going to say next question. Okay?
Sure.
Are you ready? Let's GOAT. Okay, you live in
Cool.
Vancouver, so obviously hockey is big here. Have you ever laced up the skates, yes or no, on the ice?
Yes, not for hockey, but I'm I'm not a bad skater, but I can do the basics.
Awesome. Cristiano Ronaldo or Ronaldo from Brazil?
Ronaldo from Brazil.
Messi or
He played Corinthians in Brazil. He's a guy that I grew up with. O2 was a brilliant. He was like, you know what? I think maybe Messi and Pele, like a couple guys in the world made like a World Cup like he did in O2. So Ronaldo.
Absolutely. Messi or Pele?
Pele. One has one World Cup, the other one has three. There's the king is a king for a reason.
Absolutely.
And now he's up there, he'll be the king forever.
Yes, that's a good point. Okay, LeBron James or Kobe Bryant?
I love it. To mix it up, it's a hard question for you because I love LeBron. I love his way to play, but I'm the Kobe, the Mamba mentality. That's next level shit.
Yeah, awesome. What about Shaq or Karl Malone?
Shaq. Oh, growing up, always be a Shaq guy. I don't know if I still have from my mama's place, but I had like a old Miami Heat Shaq jersey. I love that guy.
Yeah, me too. All right. So we love our wrestling. I don't know if you grew up watching wrestling, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, all those guys, but who do you choose out of the big men? Andre the Giant or The Undertaker?
I'm really not a big wrestler guy. That was not a big in Brazil growing up, so
You can say next
don't
question.
I can throw much knowledge in that next question.
Okay. Okay. Some MMA. Wanderlei Silva or Chuck Liddell?
Wanderlei Silva.
Anderson Silva or Israel Adesanya?
Anderson all day. Like easy is great, but like the way Anderson handled a lot of fights, the way he was doing stuff, that was magical.
Yeah. John Jones or Francis Ngannou?
Jones. Easy.
Okay. Easy.
Ngannou is a big guy with a lot of power, but skill for skill, quality of fighting, quality of resume. Like John Jones, like been on all the legends at 205, and yeah, he's one of the greatest.
For sure. Okay, Caio, I know you like to predict fights. You're a predictor. You're very good at predicting fights. So I got three for you so I got one right now. Jake Paul or Nate Diaz in boxing? Who do you have?
Jake Paul versus Diaz in boxing.
It's in August.
You know what way they're fighting at?
I couldn't tell you that.
Because I just feel Jake is too big for Nate. Nate is to be a small 170er, and Jake is fighting at 200 pounds. That's too much size difference. for just boxing. So and besides, like if it goes to the judges, probably go on Jake's side.
Okay.
I would go with Jake Paul.
Okay. So there's a boxing fight tomorrow. People are calling it the fight of the decade between Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, little guys, but they're both undefeated. Can we get your prediction on that fight?
Like I've been studying a little bit of those guys, but I have no idea on the prediction. I will skip this one. I'm just excited to see how I'm boxing tomorrow.
For sure. And we also have a UFC fight night tomorrow and potential future opponents of you. We have Sergey Pavlovich versus Curtis Blades. Who's winning this and how?
I think Pavlovich can win by decision.
Okay.
I see. I've seen a couple fights of both guys, and I see Pavlovich has a little bit more. Is more well versed. He controls the fight a little bit better. Blades is a great grappler a great wrestler for the division, but he's shown time and time he doesn't keep the pace, and once he can get that shot in, he doesn't have the same ability to finish the fight.
Okay, we're going into the food categories. Pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
Your favorite cheat meal?
My favorite cheat meal, McDonald's.
Oh, nice. Okay, I don't want to get you in trouble, Caio, but this was just a topic a couple weeks ago, and I hope your wife is, she won't take it, she won't get choked at me, but blondes or brunettes?
I gotta say brunettes.
Okay. Okay. Has any fool wanted to mess with you on the streets of Vancouver?
I had a little bit more with my bouncer days when I was just starting, but no, I'm usually very good at diffusing situations. Like sometimes I have someone trying to just mess with the big guy in the room, but I'm very good at like diffusing and shake people's off.
Yeah, and you know what?
I'm not fighting. I'm not.
You could just show your
I like to
fists, man.
stand
Let's
up.
see your fists. Oh yeah. You just show them those, they're fucking
People
running.
have spell size gloves. Yeah, and actually, I don't know if you notice my BFL fights. I don't wear the BFL logo glove because they definitely don't fit on my hands. We had to buy a different brand that's fit a little bit different, so I can fight for them.
Oh wow. Submits. All
Yeah,
right. Okay. The best part about living in Brazil.
the weather. It's warm all year round. I hate the cold. I hate the winter. I hate the rain all the year round here in
Yeah,
Vancouver. I always miss my warm weather. It's ice cream and swimsuit season all year round.
absolutely. The best part about living in Vancouver.
The best part of living in Vancouver, my family. That's where my little boy and my wife are, and I can go anywhere with all those guys. I have beside that my gym and people I train with. But I got to meet my wife, and we create the most important person of my life. So those two guys.
Absolutely nice, man. Who's the toughest fighter you faced so far?
The toughest fighter I faced so far, I would give to Dustin Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Only guy who beat me. He's at one. He's fighting for one right now. A guy that like I literally like shut both his eyes out. We made a war. We made it happen for the 5 rounds, and still like I couldn't finish the fight. I couldn't knock him out, and still the only loss in my record.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if one day we our paths cross again, and we can make a rematch happen. But if not, I will always have that fight as one of the fights that I learned the most and help me most improve my career.
Yeah, well said. Um, If you weren't a fighter, what would your career be?
If I weren't a fighter, what my career would be? It's hard to say. I did a little bit. I did a lot of stuff. I went for law school for 3 years. I graduated in graphic design here in Canada. I did some like party promoting back in my day, but I would say I was back home helping my family run my family runs a college in Brazil. We have a big law department and program and a lot of other schools, and I probably would be back home help to run the school with them.
Nice. What do Brazilians like to drink?
We like to drink whatever is in front of us.
And good answer.
We like to drink beer, like to drink vodka, like to drink whiskey, but we have a cachaça that's it's a very Brazilian drink, sugarcane based liquor that looks like a little bit as rum, but
Yeah.
sweeter.
Yeah. I actually went to the liquor store. I asked them, I need some Brazilian booze. They didn't know what the hell I was asking for, but I did. I said cachaça or whatever, how you say it. And they didn't know. So, but I got something for later. Couple more questions. What's your favorite strike or submission?
My favorite submission is bar. It's basic, simple, but works every time. Like no, we have a saying in Brazil that it's our rice and beans. It's the everyday food. It's the everyday position. Armbar from the mountain, from the bottom, from the back. Armbar all day long.
Yeah, we saw some
And
clips of you.
And favorite strike for myself to throw. I love my knees. Once again, I'm very good fighting on the long distance and and keep keep my head movement, keep away, working my jab and low kicks. But I think I'm more dangerous and I do the most damage with my knees on the close cords.
For sure. Okay. If you had a dream fight, who would it be with?
John Jones for the UFC heavyweight bout.
Nice. Last question, Kyle. I think you already said it, but what's your most memorable part of your fighting journey so far?
My most memorable fight of my journey so far, there's no other right answer, but today I proposed to my fiance at the BFL cage after amazing knockout in the first round. I had a broken nose, a lot of bleeding cut out there, but saw her to the cage, and she said yes, to kiss her, and got her mouth full of blood too. So was a great night for us.
Wow, that's a great story. That's a win and a win right there.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, it's time for Toast to the GOAT. For this one, I don't have the cachaça, but I do have my Patron. I love my Patron. I love my tequila.
You don't have it, but I got some right here.
Beautiful.
I brought right from Brazil on my last trip, and I still have a little bit. So let's toast for it.
All right, brother. You are the absolute undisputed heavyweight champ, and you know what? It's time that you show the UFC why they call you the King of the North. Cheers to you, man. I wish you all the best.
Cheers. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, brother. Oh, yeah. Awesome, man. Thanks again. Thanks for having some fun with me today, man. And we will be following your journey. We are so pumped up for you. God bless the family. And you're just getting started, man.
100%, 100%. I feel right now I got all the skills to be in the big show. It was just a matter of like visa and some legal stuff last year. I think right now, either the contender, short notice on the UFC. Once I get my shot, and I got that opportunity, I'm just gonna grab it and run with it.
Absolutely. You hear that, Dana? Get this guy ASAP. He deserves it. Once again, the king of the North. Thank you, Bigfoot. This is the greatest of all time podcast show, GOAT Radio. We will see you next time for more GOAT history. We will see you later. See you, Bigfoot.
Go.
Radio, best of all time, that's a ratio. Dino Tuna, welcome to the show. Yeah, gotta let them know. G-O-A-T-Y, G-O-A-T-Y.
Who was a go? Give me your vote. Ripping my shirt, thinking I'm Hulk. Hollywood Hogan and W.O. Give him the boot, top of the ropes. Put him to sleep, give him the choke. Go radio, best of all time, didn't know. Talking the game, chat with the pros. Switching the lanes, clearing my throat. Turning it up, start a debate. It's time to go, wrestle with grace. Ball in the snow, tie up his skates. Never too late, it's gonna blow. In the garage, counting some dough. With the big man and he hosting the show. We going global, so fast, never slow. Who is the GOAT of our ghosts?
G-O-A-T-Y. Radio, best of all time, that's a ratio. Dino Tuna, welcome to the show. Yeah, gotta let them know. G-O-A-T-Y.